50, 45. There goes Davis.
Oh, my God.
Davis is going to run it all the way back. Auburn's going to win the football game. Auburn's going to win the football game. He ran the missed field goal back. He ran it back 109 yards. They're not going to keep him off the field tonight. Holy cow. Oh, my God. Auburn wins. Auburn has won the Iron Bowl. Auburn has won the Iron Bowl in the most unbelievable fashion you will ever see.
Welcome in to a brand new edition of The Dream Wager presented by Viva Tequila Seltzer. A little more on them in just a little, but episode 482 of these, kid. We are locked and loaded live on a Wednesday afternoon, December 18th, 2024, kid. Just a few days away from Christmas. Are we in the spirit?
Yes, you can say yes. I'm in New York City every day, so you get the Christmas vibes for sure.
They kind of force it on you with all the music, right?
Yeah. Definitely all the music, all the people already wearing outfits and stuff like that.
Crazy people in the city. Now I'm in the city too, but not. I'm a little in the suburbs, up north a little bit.
Not as crazy as you think. Of course there's crazy people, but not as crazy as you think, Dill.
You staying safe?
Come on now.
Now, are we locked and loaded? Do we have a registered pistol on us or no?
Nah, come on now, Dill. No need for that.
You don't need it. Okay.
No need for
These
that.
are registered, right? The fists.
You're doing too much. You're doing too much, Dill.
But yeah, no, we got a great episode for you guys today. We'll recap. What an ugly doubleheader that was on a Monday. That was a tough watch. I'll say that. We'll talk about that. We got the NBA Cup champions. You said it. DeVar Ham, 14-0 in Cup games. I mean, he's undefeated.
It's a weird stat, but it's a stat.
It's a stat. Yeah. Shout out Giannis and the Bucks. They're undefeated in Cup games. So shout out them. They deserved it. We got our NBA or NFL, power rankings through 16 weeks. We'll preview Thursday night football between the Chargers and the Broncos. No games on a Wednesday. The association decided to take a break, but we do have 13 games on a Thursday. So Elvis will take a look at the Thursday games as well. But Kay, let's start in Minnesota. The Vikings, they wind up covering the 5.5, 6.5, whatever you're able to get, even the 7. They wind up winning 30-12. Game goes under just by a half, but man, the Bears are atrocious, kid. I mean, that offensive line, that roster, it's just not good. You even see the defense now taking a hit after Matt Eberflus winds up leaving, but kid, this team just isn't good. I know they got some weapons on the outside and maybe DeAndre Swift, but, just they go for it on fourth down. How many times they do a toss, they do a halfback dive. They couldn't get anything, man. Team is bad. I mean, Caleb Williams is not good. I don't care who they would have drafted. If it was Jaden Daniels, Drake May, it just wasn't a good situation for any quarterback to get in there. The body language isn't good from Caleb Williams either. And I'll say this on the other side. Shout out Sam Darnold. Shout out Kevin O'Connell. He has my coach of the year vote. I think what he's done with Sam Darnold this year. I mean, this team is legit 12-2, 7-1 at home. Aaron Jones had another big game. Justin Jefferson, shout out him. It was good to see him pay homage to Randy Moss. Shout out Randy Moss. Hopefully he beats cancer as well. But, this team is legit, so not much to touch on the Vikings. They were supposed to do what they did Monday.
Yeah, Dill. With the Bears, the body language definitely shows on the field. We've been seeing it for weeks now, coming from DJ Moore, all-season acquisition. Caleb, I like Caleb. At the end, I like him. The ceiling is high. We all know the potential is through the roof. Though at the end, he's just a rookie quarterback. He's gonna go through the flows. He has a terrible offensive line. He's on a second coach of the year, second offensive coordinator. It's not a recipe for success. Let's just say that, Dill. So I think the Bears gonna have to at least get the right coaching staff around moving forward. This season's done for. Moving forward, I think you got to make the right picks because not for now. I think you've been making some great draft picks. Now you got to make the right coaching staff and GM picks moving forward. And I think the Browns could be set up potentially do something there. Like you said, they got DeAndre Swift. The outside, Keenan Allen, DJ Moore, Rome Meduzier. That's a pretty good weapons. And I like Cole Kmet. They just need to get some pieces for offensive line and defensively. They're solid, but they're falling off a little bit, like you said. The Vikings, still, I'm impressed. Even though it's a bad Bears team, you dominated the bad Bears team. Sammy D, another good game. Aaron Jones ran the ball pretty damn good. Justin Jefferson, Addison, Hawkinson, all being involved. Still, this Vikings team is for real, man. They're really good. I can't deny it. And Sammy D, man, I know he won't get the consideration because Josh Allen's having a hell of a year. Lamar, Saquon, but I think Sammy D at least deserves to be in the conversation for MVP.
Do they bring him back?
I would do. All right, put it like this: Can McCarthy? Do you think McCarthy gonna win you 12 games next year? Yes or no?
I don't know. I want to see
No,
it.
it's no. I don't know.
I want to
yes.
see it. I don't think it's fair to ask that because we haven't seen him play. Can he? Yeah, I think he can under Kevin O'Connell. I do. I think anyone could succeed under him. That is the problem. I think he's that good of a coach. You could bring Teddy fucking Bridgewater in and he could win you 10, 11 games. I truly believe that. So under Kevin O'Connell, yeah, I think you got to bring Sam Darnold back just because you want JJ to learn under Sam Darnold.
I say JJ sits back and try the Packers method. Look what Aaron Rodgers behind Brett Favre, Jordan Love behind Aaron Rodgers. Still, I say let McCarthy sit back there a year or two more. If Sammy D's out there performing, having you in playoff contentions again next season, and he has another great year, deal. I'll leave him out there. I'll give him the contract. At the end of the day, you have JJ McCarthy. Yes, you honestly you wasted what top 12, top 10 pick on him. But at the end of the day, he's on a rookie deal. You could develop him. I say try the Packer method if you like what Sammy D is giving you. I think you sign him, deal. If I'm the GM for the Vikings, I'm giving at least Sammy D at least 2-3 year deal.
The problem is you want to develop JJ and you want to build a team
But
around him with a rookie contract. How are you going to do that and also pay Sam Darnold?
But are you guaranteed he's going to be 100% week one?
I think he will be.
You could do both. The one thing is, it's not guaranteed because we know we still got a ton of football left still.
Mm-hmm.
But one thing is most likely going to be true. Sammy D is going to be healthy come this offseason. Is JJ McCarthy's going to be ready, for offseason training camp? Is he going to be ready?
Maybe do you sign him for just a year then? You don't want to give him a contract like they did with Kirk Cousins.
That's not their option. Who says Sammy D is going to sign a 1-year deal?
Maybe give him $30 million. Maybe give him 25, 30 million. Say, hey, listen, we just need a year. After a year more, we'll do it on a year-to-year base. And you could go out and get another contract.
No, that's the thing, though. You give him a 2-year, let's just say 2 years, 80 mil, fully guaranteed, right? That's a going rate, $40 million for a quarterback. Let's just say he plays 1 year, and after that one season, you're confident in the front office J.J. McCarthy could lead us moving forward. Yeah. You could deal him. You could release him. After that 1 year deal, you could cut him. You could do whatever you want.
I think that would be the max. It'd have to be just like a 2-year deal because if you sit there and give him a 3-year, now the rookie contract is over. Now, like, do you exercise the 5th-year option with JJ? Like, what do we do here? You wasted a top 12 pick with JJ, and I don't think he wasted because I do think he'll be all right. But eventually, you got to see him play. You know what I mean?
I agree. I agree with that point, Dill. But if Sammy D, let's just say again next season, we're back in playoff contention. We're 9, 10, 11 win, possibly a 12-win team again. How could he possibly make that switch? That's what I'm saying.
It'd be tough.
Look at the 49ers.
Yeah.
They couldn't go back from Brock Purdy.
No, yeah. Or he winds up leaving, or someone just gives him an astronomical amount of money that he can't refuse.
Somebody will. I'm gonna say 3 years. Will Baker got 3 years, 120.
Yeah,
I wouldn't be like I said. $40 million a year is the going rate for a good quarterback. Sammy D, this season so far has been what, top 5, top 6 quarterback.
Yeah, I think he's definitely a top 10 quarterback. I think
Yeah.
there's an
No,
argument to be
I'm not
made.
saying he's a top 10. I won't say he's been playing like one. You can't
Yeah,
deny
yeah.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, this year he has been. So love the uniforms too, by the way. I know a lot of people didn't like them. They wanted like the old school purple helmet kind, but I thought those were icy. I love all white uniforms, to be honest. But yeah, you did. Shout out you. You did cash Jordan Addison's over. And I cashed the -6.5. So we were spot on in this game, kid. The other game, that was a tough watch. 15 to no, honestly, it was 15-9. They wind up covering the 5.5. If you did get the 5.5, game goes way under the total. 43.5. I think it was like 20 something points that they combined to score. But obviously the big news is well, shout out you did cash the first half bet. Drake London, he's
Yeah.
dead to
That's
me too.
I'm telling you, I didn't trust him. That's what I said. You gotta win the first half.
Yeah.
If you're Atlanta, you don't win the first half in Las Vegas, fire the whole staff.
Yeah. Drake London's dead to me too. But the bigger
He
news,
had the
obviously,
touchdown though.
he
You
did get
read
the
it wrong.
touchdown. He
You
just
read it
didn't get
wrong.
the yards.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you read it wrong. That's all.
But the bigger news, obviously, out of this game, despite the Falcons winning, the next day, Raheem Morris, the front office, they do decide to bench Kirk Cousins for the rookie. You even heard it after the game. It felt like Kirk Cousins was going to cry. Like he was just like, I know it was crazy to see, but he was only 11 for 17. He goes, it's hard to win in this league. It's, I haven't been playing up to my standard. I don't think he's 100% healthy coming off that injury. To be honest, I kind of, after hearing the comments and then calling you and seeing the news that he was benched, it doesn't surprise me. I don't think it surprised you. I don't think it surprised a lot of people, if I'm being honest. They're 7-7. They're a game out of from Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay's schedule is easier. They have the Cowboys, Panthers, and Saints compared to Atlanta, who has the Giants, Commanders, and Panthers. So, Michael Penix now takes over in Atlanta. The bigger problem is the whole contract situation, what we were just kind of talking about with Sammy D. They did sign him 4 years, 180, got 90 million guaranteed, and now he's benched after 14 games. So if the Falcons were to cut him prior to the start of 2025, they would have 65 million in dead money. If they were to trade him, the 27.5 million, like the base salary guarantee, would be transferred over, obviously, to the other team. So then the Falcons would just be responsible for about 37.5 million of that money. And if the Falcons were to release Kirk Cousins before June 1st, they would have 40 million in dead money in 2025 and 25 million in 2026. So they don't want to cut him. What do you do with Kirk Cousins at this point, kid? Because I'll say this real quick. I think his play has been he's deserved to be benched. I'm a Kirk Cousins fan. I like Kirk Cousins, but he hasn't been playing up to the level that he needs to. And I think you see some potential out of the lefty.
Realistically, Dale, we gotta ask that question in the off season when the season's over, because we got to see the rookie play. One thing I could say is Kirk Cousins is not 100% healthy. Can he be 100% healthy next season? If I'm Atlanta, I'm not trying to take that. I'm not just trying to release Kirk Cousins and have all that dead space, dead cap. I got to see how the rookie plays. If he goes out there and he lights it up, Dale, let's just say he plays like these other rookies in his draft class. Bo Nix, been outstanding. Drake May, we love what we've been seeing for him. Jaden Daniels, first 9-10 weeks of the season, we was like, damn, look at this dude. And we know Caleb Williams' potential, Dale. If Michael Penix could just play at the level of his draft class, still, Kirk Cousins is out of there. But we got to see him play first. So, to me, you got to ask that question in the off season. If I'm Atlanta, I'm keeping Kirk Cousins for at the bare minimum another year. Because one, it's still good to have him in the locker room, even still if Michael Penix is your QB1 next year. He's still will be a solid backup. And not for nothing, he'll be healthier next season. I can't guarantee that, but I'm most likely sure he'll be healthier next season. So if Kirk Cousins comes back a little healthier, a little more mobile, looking like he did with the Vikings instead of how he did this season, maybe I'll start him week one deal. But if I like what I see from Michael Penix for the remainder of this season, if he leads us to a playoff push still, it's going to be very hard for Kirk Cousins to be QB1 again.
Yeah, I really don't know what they wind up doing. I think they have to keep Kirk Cousins just for another year because God forbid Michael Penix isn't the guy either.
Exactly.
You know, now you're with two quarterbacks under contract too. Maybe he could learn. Maybe he could develop into the guy. But yeah, I agree. I think you got to keep him. Are you confident in the rookie? From what you've seen, little spurts, do you think, because he has talent, you have some pieces on the outside, you have a good run game, and say what you want. I know the defense hasn't been playing up to par, but there's some guys on defense.
Realistically, Dill, I wasn't the biggest Michael Penix fan coming out of, into the draft, right? But what's giving me a little hope is that every quarterback in the first round this year, besides JJ, who is hurt, has been overachieving, you could say, in their rookie season.
Even Caleb Williams?
I think, all right, maybe not Caleb Williams still, but we see moments where Caleb Williams has been great.
I'll give you that.
He made a couple throws on the run.
Yeah.
Like, wow. All right, we see it.
I believe in Caleb Williams. I want that on record as well.
He just needs an offensive line, Dill.
Yeah,
Is Atlanta offensive line a little better than Chicago's?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Does Atlanta have a better running game than Chicago?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Does Atlanta have almost as equal?
They kind of could go head to head.
Yeah, the wide receiver core is right there. It's just about the same, Dill. Put it like this: for how all the rookies has been playing all season long, I have some expectations for Penix.
That's fair.
If all these rookies have been playing like shit the whole season, I'd be like, all right, I don't expect much from him. But not for nothing, I think you would even agree with me. All these rookies have been overachieving thus far. Even Caleb Williams. So I expect them to at least go out there and at least play better than I expect them to. At least that.
100%. I mean, I believe in Caleb Williams. There have been spurts where I was like, wow, like that is a fantastic throw. He body language needs to be better, but with a better offensive line. And we saw it even with Justin Fields and Mitch Trubisky. Like it's a bad organization. I think that's the problem with Caleb Williams, but Drake May has shown signs. Jaden Daniels, we know how good he is. We'll see with JJ McCarthy. I think he could be good. Bo Nix has been fantastic. Even fucking Spencer Rattler. I know he got drafted later, but he came in the game and he almost beat the Redskins.
I'm not gonna go that far. I'm gonna just go first rounders. That's what I'm gonna say.
This is a good quarterback class. I'll say that.
Yeah.
There's a lot of talent there.
Definitely way better than I expected them all to play.
Yeah. This upcoming class is not the best though. You got like one or two guys. That's about it.
It's like that though. And then 2 drafts from now, hey, we got some bangers.
But yeah, so big win for the Falcons. I didn't cash for Drake London, but shout out you did get the cash on the first half. What was I gonna say? So the remaining 3 games, Bucks 8-6, Falcons 7-7. Atlanta does hold the tiebreaker because they do have the 2 wins over Tampa Bay. Like I said, Atlanta next 3 games: Giants, Commanders, Panthers. I think they could go 2-1, finish 9-8. Tampa, Cowboys, Panthers, Saints. They look like they got a 3-0. I mean, it's December 18th. Who do you think? They got 3 games left. Who's going to win this division? Now, granted, it is a rookie quarterback leading the team now.
Tampa Bay Buccaneers still.
Yeah.
You got the coaching edge. Todd Bowles been there, done that. You got Brian Flores still overlooking from the suite up top, by the way. Baker Mayfield, hate him or love him, he's won a couple playoff games in his career. I think he's 2-2. 2-3, I think, in his playoff career. It's pretty good. It's better than a lot of quarterbacks out there.
Baker Mayfield is 2-2. I just looked it up in his playoff career.
Look at that. That's better than a lot of players making.
And he beat some good teams.
I'm gonna be honest. I think that's better than every player making over $50 million besides Patty and
Might be better than
Joe
Lamar
Burrow.
too.
No, it is. Lamar's 3-5. But still, like I was saying,
Oh, Lamar
I
2
give
and
Baker.
4. Fuck.
Yeah. Come on now. I know. I give Baker Mayfield and this team the best chance to win the division, just because besides the running back group, there's experience at every level that's been a little sprinkle around that Super Bowl team. You got people in the secondary like Antoine Winfield Jr., who is injured right now, but he's still involved. You got Shaq Barrett. I'm pretty Shaq Barrett still involved from that Super Bowl team. You got Peter Vea still involved from that Super Bowl team. So you got experience at all three levels of the defenses. You got some experience on the offense as well. Just besides that running room, they all been there, and Baker has won playoff games still. So give me the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to win the division.
Yeah, I would agree. I think Tampa Bay, I think they could go 3-0. I think they're all winnable games. I know Cowboys have been playing a little better. Cooper Rush.
Go 2-1 and they win the division.
And they win it. Yeah, exactly. I still think they beat the Panthers and the Saints, and I trust Baker. They've been playing really good football right now. So I would agree. I would take Tampa Bay, but
Chris Godwin should be back within 2 weeks.
Yeah. And on the outside, with the other on the other side, the Las Vegas, Raiders, they've lost 10 in a row now. I know they gave Antonio Pierce the contract, but he has to be done, right? Or do you give him another shot with Shador? Because the top two teams right now, it's the Raiders, the Giants, and then you guys. Kid, you might have a top. Yeah, I'm about to say you paired Travis Hunter. My mic is going down. I'm yelling so much. You pair Christian Gonzalez and Travis Hunter. That's a shutdown secondary.
Could be a tough day for the AFC.
And you could fit him because it looks like you guys are going to bring back Mayo, which I'm still on the fence with Mayo, but he could do special teams. He could play a little receiver as well. He's a dynamic receiver. I know he's a better corner, but it looks like you guys are going to get Travis Hunter if everything stays the same. Shador's going to go first to the Raiders. Cam Ward they have to go quarterback. They have to go quarterback. So
unless they give the bag to Sammy D.
Oh my God. Or I've heard Brock Purdy. Like he's a name out there as well, which I think that's a reach, but kid, I'm very interested. Real quick with the Raiders, they got to go Shador, right? He's going to be the number one pick.
Yeah, I think Shador deserves to be the number one pick, and not for now. I think he's the best quarterback available.
100%.
Does Cameron Ward have, let's just say, a higher ceiling?
Maybe,
but who's the quarterback that's ready to start week 1 in the NFL? I think it's Shador Sanders.
And Shador, Prime, they have the relationship with Brady. Brady has he's part ownership now in the Las Vegas Raiders.
And we already saw the owner come out and say, he's like, hopefully, this is your home. When
he was smiling ear to ear.
Yeah, he was at some basketball game or something.
And every time the Raiders lose, Shador Sanders tweets, "Thank God," or "God is great." Mm-hmm. Now, I'm not like I said last episode, I'm not a conspiracy guy, but it looks like he wants to go to the Raiders.
It makes the most sense. Still, think about it. He won't be too far from the OG Colorado, Las Vegas. Not a far flight at all, and you gotta at least love the situation. Yes, right now it's a bad team. But you're in Las Vegas. It's the Raiders,
and they have money.
The most iconic franchise in all of football. They got the cap space still.
Yeah.
Maybe in a couple years, 2-3 years from now, build something around Shador. Hey, maybe they could be something.
Yeah, you go get a receiver or two. Yeah, I like it. So I just want, and you guys are sitting pretty at 3. I'm not gonna lie, you guys.
My dream as a Patriots fan would be draft Travis Hunter, sign T. Higgins. We could pull that off, Dill. I'll be a happy man.
I love. What's the win? If you get Travis Hunter and T. Higgins, what is the win total for 2025? 7, 8?
8. Easy 8. 8, because we're going to see that bump there. We're going to get an offensive coordinator.
Okay.
That's going to elevate Drake May. We get T. Higgins. Travis Hunter's going to at least get a pick 6 or 2. Or 2.
They might not even throw his way.
And where they gonna throw to Gonzalez? I wish they would. I wish they.
Are you getting a T. Higgins jersey or Travis Hunter? Travis Hunter Patriot jersey would look fire behind you.
I ain't gonna hold you. There might have to be a Travis Hunter
Yeah.
and Drake May. So probably a blue Drake May and a white Travis Hunter.
Ooh,
That would
looks
be
fire. It's always nice
and if
to
T. Higgins
look.
come, red.
That's what's nice. Trust me, I've had years of being bad where it's like, it's so nice because you're always in the news and you always might have a top 5, top 10 draft pick. So it's always good. You're always in the news. But yeah, I'm happy for you.
Back-to-back years, top 3 picks.
Hey, building something.
Mm-hmm.
Also, Cardinals, they signed Budda Baker. He finally reaches an agreement. 3 years, $30 million guaranteed. It's the 3rd largest contract in NFL history for a safety. Good move for the Cardinals. He's been kind of weary the last year and a half wanting a contract. He does resign with the team.
Dale, to be honest, this is a great deal for both sides. You know, they take care of Budda Baker, but now the Cardinals solidify that secondary for a couple more seasons. We know Baker's been top 3, if not the best safety in football, considerably for the past 3 to 5 seasons. So to me, this is a win-win. Some people might be like, "Oh, he's a little past his prime," but at the end of the day, he's still a great player, Dill, and I guarantee he's a great locker room guy, and that's why he took care of him.
Yeah, he does move up. Obviously, you have Antoine Winfield Jr. He just got the bag. Derwin James, and then Minka Fitzpatrick, Xavier McKinney. But now Budda Baker does move into 3rd for all-time safety. Yeah, I like it. I think it's a good move. You want to take care of an all-pro safety like Budda Baker, and you want to develop him. You know, I think he's really good, and I don't think $30 million guaranteed is all that much in this day and age. So, yeah, shout out him. NBA Cup, Milwaukee Bucks, like I said at the top, they are NBA Cup champions. DeVar Ham, 14-0. I mean, Giannis went crazy, bro. 26 points, 19 boards, 10 assists, triple-dub with 3 blocks. He blocked it on Caruso's head. He just went crazy. And, you and I were talking earlier, and when he's developed, when he's on point and that mid-range is going, he's unguardable. I think Giannis is a top 3 player in the NBA. He also does get the NBA Cup MVP for what it's worth. Shout out him. They asked him, "What are you gonna do with the extra 500?" He goes, "That shit's gone." He goes, "I got a kid. I got 3 kids, 1 on the way, and a wife, and it's Christmas. That shit gone." So shout out him. Damian Lillard also had a pretty good game as well. Shout out the Bucks. DeVar Ham went undefeated with the Lakers, and now the Bucks.
Yeah, Dale. I think Giannis solidified himself as the most dominant player in the NBA in today's game. Today, 2024. He's the most dominant player in the NBA, Dale. That was a dominated performance against, some people might say, the best defensive team in basketball in OKC Thunder. Some people might say the best team in basketball in OKC Thunder, Dale. And Giannis in the second half just simply took it over, Dale, and just proved to everybody, I know it's been a couple years, but I'm still the best player in the world, Dill. I think Giannis had himself a tremendous game. Don't get me wrong, OKC Thunder shot themselves in the foot. I think they shot like 1 for 12, 1 for 14 in the first half from 3. Let's just say they sank 5 or 6 of those. It's a totally different ball game, possibly a different outcome as well. But the way Giannis and the whole team played, especially in the second half, Dill, I'll be honest, though. I know Boston has been great, but though healthy Giannis, Dame there when needed. You got those key guys who's been there. You know, Bobby Portis, Chris Middleton, and them. From what I saw last night, I give the Bucks a shot to compete with the Celtics in a 7-game series. Though I love what I saw, and with the OKC Thunder on the opposite side, it was just a little disappointing. For one, how bad Shea played, and how just, I don't know if they weren't prepared for the big game, or it just had a bad shooting night. I don't know which one it was, though. If it was just a bad shooting performance from the team overall, or they just wasn't prepared for the big game. Shea was just off. Was it the same thing as well? I'm not going to carry too much weight on it. I just wish they would have performed like they have all season long in their biggest stage at this point in the season.
5 for 32 from beyond the arc for OKC. You're not going to win, like you said.
I don't think they'll shoot that bad put like this. They won't have 3 games like that the rest of the season.
Is it more that they just were missing, or do you got to give credit to Milwaukee's defense? Because I think they were locking them up. They held them to what, 81 points?
Yes, but a lot of some of those shots, not a lot, but some of those shots they were open. Yeah. It's not like they were drawn up plays. It's not like they were just dribble, step back 3. No, these are some of these shots that were created off screen. Still, to me, they were just an off night. Or you got to give credit to the Bucks as well, but in the first half, mostly still, it was just a lot of breaks.
And it wasn't just an off night from SGA. Yeah, he shot 8 for 24. They shot 33% from the field, 15% from behind the arc. Meanwhile, Milwaukee, not known for their 3-pointers, but Dame hit 5 threes. Trayshawn Prince had 2 threes. Brook Lopez had 3 threes. Gary Trent Jr. had 3 threes. They shot 43% from beyond the arc.
And all those players been there and done that. I know Trayshawn Prince is not like a household name, but we know Gary Trent Jr. can score the ball. Brook Lopez, he's been shooting
legend.
A Nets legend.
He's a legend
since I was in high school.
And Dame, we don't even need to talk about Dame.
Come on now. And now we're seeing Giannis develop his mid range. In the second quarter, when I saw Giannis back down, dribble, step back mid range from the free throw, I was like, yeah. Net.
He's on one.
Usually he banks it or rim. It hits the rim and rattles. When I saw it go all net, I said, "Oh yeah."
You could tell by watching the game he was possessed in that second half. Like you weren't beating him. Outside of Giannis might be too. I was gonna say Luka. I was gonna say because I think Jokic is the best player. Outside of Jokic, I was gonna say it's Luka and Giannis, and I was gonna give it to SGA. But after that performance, I can't. I can't.
Giannis is clearly the best player on the court last night, and it wasn't even close.
Yeah, like I said, with that when he has that mid range and he's on,
and not for nothing, I saw a stat before we got on.
Mm-hmm.
You know his SGH record against Giannis in the Bucks in his career? Take a wild guess.
I have no idea. In his career. Has to be bad if you're asking. 1-8, 1-9.
Wow, 1-8, Dill.
Wow.
First win came in 2018. He hasn't beat Giannis since 2018.
I wish I knew that before, so I would have bet the house on the Bucks.
I didn't know that.
No,
I didn't know that.
No, and of course these stats or these records they always come out after the fact. So. Gotta do our due diligence. I know SGA probably won't have that bad of a night, but it wasn't just him. Everyone played bad. I thought Jalen Williams didn't play all that well. I thought Isaiah Hartenstein honestly was the best player on the court for them. He had 16 and 12. Outside of him, Isaiah Joe, Dort was bad.
Wiggins was bad.
Caruso was bad. Aaron Wiggins was bad. The whole team was bad. Honestly,
it was just a poor shooting night, or it was just a stellar defensive performance from the Milwaukee Bucks.
Yeah, 100%. So, shout out the Bucks and shout out Giannis. He does get the MVP as well. So hopefully they could, he could help Dame win a title. But yeah, kid, let's go to our rankings because I'm very interested. There is a new number 1 in town, kid. I'll tell you that much real quick. But we'll go through 10. I'll start it off, kid, because it was very hard. I'll say this. I want to give you number 11 because it could have been number 10.
I am mad at you, Dill. I am mad at you.
11 is the Denver Broncos. I almost put them in, but I didn't just yet. I want to see how they play on Thursday night, but I did put the Broncos at 11. At number 10, it's the Washington Redskins still. I'm going to keep them at number 10. I think they're just a hair better than the Denver Broncos right now with Jaden Daniels. I know it was a tough, close call against the Saints, but let's be honest, they were beating the shit out of them the whole game, and they kind of let them back into the game. But Terry McLaurin has been really good. Defense has kind of been all right. Jaden Daniels has been fantastic. Run game is starting to get a little better as well. 9-5. When was the last time we seen the Redskins / Commanders be 9-5, kid? So I like this team. I think they're just a hair better than the Broncos, but they were very close. Give me the Redskins at number 10.
Dale, I agree with your first half. The Broncos were at number 11. but I disagree with your 10th pick. Give me the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at number 10. Welcome back to my top 10. Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Baker Mayfield's been balling. Mike Evans still. Hey, he's making a run for that another 1,000-yard season. He's on its way, coming back from injury. Dill. The running game is getting there. Defensively, we know what Todd Bowles could do when he game plans properly. Still, it comes down to Baker Mayfield. Right now, he's looking like he's about to run away with the division. Let's see what the Falcons could do. But my opinion, Dill, after the performance we saw against a good Chargers team on the road, I think Buccaneers deserve to enter my top 10. Give me the Bucks at number 10.
At number 9, welcome back into the top 10. Houston Texans at 9-5. Big win against the Dolphins. And I think their defense is playing better. Offense, I still want to see a little more out of Nico Collins coming back. CJ Stroud has taken care of the ball a little better, but picking off, they lead the league in interceptions since week 16. Since week 6, they've caught 8 interceptions combined against Tua, who they had 3. Jared Goff, they had 5 interceptions. So they only had 4 leading up to those 2 games. So they have 19 interceptions on the season. That's second only to the Vikings, who have 20. So defense is starting to play a little better. I like that. I want to see a little more from the offense, but this is a playoff team. They've already clinched the division as well. So they got to be in the top 10.
So at number 9, I teased this team last week, almost getting in at number 10. Still, wasn't a pretty performance, but I have to put him in. Give me the Rams at number 9. Puka Nacua, he's been balling, Dill. Puka Nacua is that boy. Cooper Kupp didn't show up on Thursday night. Didn't need him. They didn't need Cooper Kupp, former Triple Crown winner. Caleb Williams is running the ball great. And defensively, Dill, is not great. It's not great, but it's pretty good right now. Tie, got a little edge of a tie. Sitting on top of the NFC West. Still, give me Sean McVay. Give me Matthew Stafford. Give me the Rams at number 9.
Not going to move this team, even though it was a big win, but it was against the Giants. Give me the Baltimore Ravens. It will tell a lot about what happens here this week against the Steelers, but my worry is still the secondary. They give up a lot of big pass plays. We'll see. George Pickens did not practice today, and today is Wednesday, so we'll see if he could go. My worries with the secondary with Kyle Hamilton. We'll see. Marlon Humphrey, he's been okay, but we'll see. I think the secondary's been the biggest problem. Lamar obviously playing like the MVP, probably won't get it, but he's been playing like the MVP. Derrick Henry has been a fantastic fit. He fits what Baltimore wants to do. So love what the offense has been doing. And this team is still live for the division. Do not count them out. If they go out there and beat the Pittsburgh Steelers this week, they are live for the division. So I like it. I want to see the secondary clean up things just a little bit. But, yeah, not going to move the Ravens off number 8.
Still, at number 8, give me the Green Bay Packers. Didn't want to move them up. They took care of business against Seattle. Yes, they did, Dill. But I still have to see a little more from Green Bay. Like I said a couple of days ago on Lost Pod, they only lost to the best teams in the NFC. The Lions, the Vikings, and the Eagles. Undefeated against everybody else. They beat their first playoff team in Seattle last week, Dill. I just need to see a couple more times. That's all. I love Jordan Love. I love Matt LaFleur. I just gotta see a little more from this Packers team. Give me the Packers at 8.
At number 7, had to drop them a little bit. Tough loss, but it was to a really good team in the Eagles. But Pittsburgh Steelers at number 7. Yeah, tough loss. I mean, they're just not the same team without George Pickens. Like I said, he did not practice today. He's going to be a game-time decision. We'll see if he practices Thursday and Friday. That will be a big factor, see if he plays against the Ravens. They need him. I didn't think Russ he had a season low, 128 passing yards last week. Do they go back to Justin Fields? Who knows? But TJ Watt was limited in practice as well. He's been banged up the last few weeks. This is a good team, but when they're missing key players, they don't look the same, which worries me. I like them. They're a good team, but I had to drop them a little bit. Give me the Steelers at number 7.
At number 7, give me the Baltimore Ravens still. Don't get me wrong. I like what I saw this past weekend. It's just defensively. I don't think they could get back to the caliber defensively that what they were last season. But could they, find something and make a playoff push? That's what I need to see. Offensively, Dill, I like that Zay Flowers has been a little more consistent, these past couple weeks. I like that Mark Andrews is getting a little more involved as well. We saw Bateman. I hope Bateman gets a little more involved as well. So I understand it's just the Giants people, not gonna, you know, too too much on it. But I have some faith in the Ravens still. Give me the Ravens at 7 for now.
At number 6, give me the Green Bay Packers, 10-4. Big win on the road against a good Seahawks team that a lot of people are counting out. Unfortunately, I do think Geno might be done for the season. No word just yet, but doesn't look good for them. But a big improvement that I've seen moving forward. Obviously, we've seen the turnovers with Xavier McKinney in that defense, but red zone, they've been much better in the red zone. They were 29th in red zone touchdowns through the first 9 weeks. They're up to 14th in the league, over 57% now, scoring about 70% of the drives over the past 4 weeks. Josh Jacobs, he's been great rushing the ball. Before their week 10 bye, he only had 3 rushing touchdowns. I mean, we've seen a much bigger increase in the red zone, and that you got to give credit to Matt LaFleur. 10-4 kid. It's crazy that they're in third place, but yeah, I like the Packers. I think they're a dark horse in this NFC as well. So yeah, give me the Green Bay Packers at number 6.
At number 6, didn't bump them down too much. Though. Give me the Pittsburgh Steelers. You know how much I love this team. I got faith in them. Yes, they're down George Pickens right now, but arguably they ran into one of the best teams in football in the Philadelphia Eagles. I think we got to at least realize that the Eagles are really, really good football team, people. Russ had a bad day. He's also missing his number one weapon. Couldn't really establish the run at all. Still, Russ just had a bad day. Give credit to the Eagles defense still, but I still like this team a lot. I still got faith in Mike Tomlin, and that defense to me is top 10. Chris Boswell and that special teams has been great all season long. Still, it's just if George Pickens comes, I think he'll play this week. Honestly, after missing 2 straight games, I think he'll be playing this Sunday. But if he does it, I think I agree with you. It's definitely not the same team. But other than that, deal, I love the Steelers team. Give me the Steelers at number 6.
Keeping the Vikings at number 5, 12-2. They did what they were supposed to. They beat a bad Bears team, but you know who I've seen a big improvement in? And shout out you. You've been on him the last few weeks, but Jordan Addison, outside of the off-field issues with the driving and whatnot,
It's
I think
speeding.
you got to slow down.
I told them, get a drive. I'll go. I'll go to Minnesota.
You'll go to Minnesota?
Yeah. Good price. Cheaper than what he paying now, guaranteed.
Remember, I was there for my birthday, not this year. 2 years ago. Beautiful suburbs. You love it. It gets a little cold in Minnesota, but
I'll be all right. North faced up.
Exactly. So, hey, Jordan Addison, hit my boy up. He'll be your driver. But yeah, no, I think he's been really good.
Every day. I'll do this.
Through week 8, he caught 14 passes for only 1 touchdown. While playing only the 5 games, but he's turned it around. He's caught 37 passes between weeks 9 and 15 for over 540 yards. He has 6 touchdowns as well. That's 3rd in the NFL. He's starting to come on a little bit with Sam Darnold. I like Jordan. Obviously, Justin Jefferson obviously is always going to be their number 1, but Jordan Addison would be a lot of teams' number 1 if he wasn't on this team. But they got a nice 1-2 punch. I don't worry about that defense under Brian Flores. They're a top 5 defense. They might be a top 5 offense as well with Jordan Addison. And if he can continue to play like that, this is a scary team, kid. Give me the Vikings at number 5.
At number 5, welcome to my top 5, the Minnesota Vikings, Dill. Just to add to what you were saying, Dill, you sprinkle in TJ Hawkinson on top of that. Aaron Jones, who's been a great offseason acquisition, who's been running the ball tremendously. He's been finding the end zone a little more as well. Like you said, top 5 defense. If Sammy D could just keep up this play offensively and consistently, not turn the ball over, not force the ball to JJ in the red zone. Look at TJ. Look at Jordan Addison. Still, I give them a shot, man. I think they're live. Don't get me wrong. The NFC's loaded. It's tough. Look at the division alone. The division by itself is loaded. But Dale, if he doesn't turn the ball over, the Vikings are live, man. The Vikings are live. Give me the Minnesota Vikings at number 5.
Top 4 is where it all changes for me. I had to shake it up a little bit. At number 4, I had to drop them 3 spots. Give me the Detroit Lions at number 4. I had to drop them. I know the injuries and the defense, and now Montgomery looks like he's done for the year as well. I don't know, kid. I don't know how, if they're not putting up 30 to 40 points a game, I don't know how they win now. Now it's not a 1-2 punch with Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery. I don't know how they're going to, recoup. I worry about this team. I like Dan Campbell. I think he's a hell of a coach. I like the speech he gave in that interview over the week. We got punched in the mouth. We're going to fight back. This is what they needed. It sounds good. It sounds good until I see it. I want to see it before I put them back into the top 2, top 3. This is a good team, but they have a chance. If Minnesota keeps winning, they have a chance to go from the number 1 seed to the number 5 seed real quick. So I want to see it just now. It was a tough loss to a really good Buffalo Bills team. I had to drop them a little bit. Kid, give me the Bills, the Lions at number 4.
Yeah, same. I dropped them just 2 spots. Detroit Lions, it's just really is the injuries that's just building up. Realistically, it's not talent. It's the injuries. David Montgomery, he's out. You started with Aiden Hutchinson early on a couple weeks ago. I'm pretty sure N'Kobe Dean, he's gonna be out for a little bit. He got a broken jaw. Uh, um, mostly everybody on defensive line is dealing with some type of injury. Dill. I don't know if they're going to be able to get after the quarterback consistently moving forward. We saw it for weeks. Even after a Hutchinson injury, they were still getting after the quarterback. The defense looked fine. Now the injuries are weighing in, Deal. I don't know if they can overcome it. Now you add David Montgomery or one of the key pieces in offense. Now you're going to, all the weight is going to be on Jahmyr Gibbs' shoulders. I think he'll be just fine. But, Deal, defensively, how many times are you going to rely on the next man up? Eventually the next man up is going to get exposed. It's not going to be as talented as the other 52 on the opposite side.
I agree.
It just comes down to injuries. Give me the Lions at 4. If it wasn't for that, at the end of the day, Buffalo's really good. I'm not going to overreact over a loss. It's just too many injuries.
Yeah, it might be a little too much to overcome, especially at this point in the season. If it was early on, I'd be like, all right, I'm not really going to worry, but we're getting into the nitty-gritty time, kid. At number 3, give me the Kansas City Chiefs. Had to drop them 1, even though they did beat the Browns. On the other good news, Patrick Mahomes, he did have the ankle injury that he kind of always has played through in his career, but he's been a full participant in practice this week. So, fortunately, we won't see Carson Wentz. We might actually see Patrick Mahomes here. I like them. I just don't think they're better than the top 2 teams right now. I like the Chiefs at 13-1, but let's just be honest. They've had a little luck on their side this season. So, yeah, I'm going to keep the Chiefs at number 3.
I'm not going to say a lot of fucking luck on their side this season. They're I'm not going to say the only team, but the Chiefs are yet to score 30 points this season, and they've won 12 games.
They're 13-1.
13-1. They haven't scored 30 points all season long. There's a couple teams that haven't scored 30 points all season. They all have under 4 wins. Give me the Kansas City Chiefs at number 3. Patrick Mahomes and LeBron James have the same ankle doctor because when they roll, they still could play. I don't know what it is, but Patty Mahomes and LeBron James bounce back from a high ankle sprain faster than God knows what. Realistically, I think Kansas City Chiefs, they're fine. They're great. It's just besides Cleveland Browns last week, when are they gonna start winning games like they're supposed to? Like when they're gonna start blowing teams out?
They covered last week.
Yeah, I said besides the Browns last week, when they're gonna start acting and looking like a 13-win team? We've been seeing for since week 1, realistically, since the toe tap with Isaiah Likely. It comes down to the end, comes down to a close call, comes down to a penalty. It's always something a late game in the late game with Kansas City Chiefs. Besides the Cleveland Browns, I like them, Dale. I just don't love them. Give me the Chiefs at 3.
Now my last two, they were very close. You could have went 1A, 1B, but ultimately I did put the Eagles at 2. They keep moving up, and I had to put the Bills. After that win, I had to put the Bills at number 1. Eagles, they put everything to rest. Jalen Hurts said that's what y'all wanted to see, right? So, I mean, Jalen Hurts has been great. He's had only 7 turnovers in the first 4 games. That was second to Will Levis. Eagles were 2-2 in that pan. During their 10-game win streak, he just has 3 turnovers. I think that's really the difference maker. Obviously, the defense turning over and being a top 3, I would say, defense. I think Jalen Hurts really has to take care of the ball. Obviously, Saquon's playing at an MVP level, so it's a really good team, and they're still fighting for that number 1 seed. They got a big game against the Redskins this week. We'll see what happens there, but yeah, I like the Eagles at number 2, and then number 1, I had to put the Buffalo Bills. I know they have 3 losses, but that win, what Josh Allen has been doing, it just can't go unnoticed. From weeks 1 to 7, the Bills scored a touchdown on just 31% of their drives. They've since scored 43% of on their drives. Now that's first in the NFL, and it's all thanks to Josh Allen. I mean, what he's doing, and I want to give credit. I know it all goes to Josh Allen, but that offensive line has really played well too. From weeks 4 to 6, the offense scored 23 points or fewer in each game. The Bills now have tied the NFL record by scoring 30 plus in 8 straight games. That's not just Josh Allen. That's also their offensive line. They're getting healthy on the wide receivers as well. Defense last few weeks have been okay, but when they're scoring 30 plus points in 8 straight games, it doesn't matter what the defenses do. This offense is just going to win them games. So, if I had to pick, Josh Allen is the MVP right now. He's the best quarterback in the league. And they deserve to be the number 1 team. They just beat my number 1 team last week in the Lions. They deserve to be number 1.
Dale, at number 2, give me the Philadelphia Eagles. They've been a top 5 defense for, I'm going to say 10 weeks now, at least 9. Offensively, Dale, I think Jalen Hurts proved to everybody that, yeah, he could still win a game just off his arm. Saquon didn't have his best game, and Dale, Jalen Hurts led the way. Defensively, realistically, defense brought it home, but Jalen Hurts did his thing. AJ Brown still showed everybody he's still that dude. Devontae Smith still high class. Interesting to see if Dallas Goedert could come back from injury, before the postseason. I would like to see him before the playoff run. But other than that, I think Nick Fangio's been doing a hell of a job. Stefanski definitely going to earn Sirianni's going to earn himself a contract extension this offseason. And I think once again, the Philadelphia Eagles need to send, a couple bottles of champagne, a big basket to the New York Giants front office for letting Saquon Barkley walk. Even though he had didn't have the best game, they still got to thank the Giants for Saquon Barkley. And
Yeah.
number 1, Dill, back at number 1, the Buffalo Bills.
You've been on them for the past few weeks now. You were ahead of it.
I was ahead of it, Dill. Josh Allen's running away with the MVP. No Amari Cooper, and we saw how that offense was flourishing. James Cook has been running the ball pretty damn well. It's just the defense still. Can the defense pull it around? We saw it getting I'm not gonna say exposed, but the Rams torched them. The line second half torched them. Yeah, those offenses are pretty damn good with some great quarterbacks still and great offensive coordinators. But this still, can the Buffalo Bills, can they not win in the shootout? That's my thing. Can they win in a close game, like 17-20? Can they win like that? We know the offense is going to show up, but let's just say the offense is not there. Can the defense shut it down and bring home a win? That's what I got to see. But give me the Bills at number 1.
Yeah, I got to give you credit. You were ahead of the curve with him, and not him, Josh Allen, and just the whole team in general. Are you worried about their defense? Last few games, they've given up a lot of points, but like I said, I think the offense has just been playing so good that it really doesn't matter.
Put like this: if save like the Panthers, the Falcons, or the Raiders put up those type of points back-to-back weeks, respectfully, or the Giants, I'd be concerned. Like, holy shit. But you got Sean McVay, Matthew Stafford, Puka Nacua, Cooper Cup, who did, 45? and then you
Yeah.
have Detroit Lions, who's the best offensive football, put up 40 as well. So I'm not gonna bash him on them just because those are elite offenses. But I think there is little something to be a little concerned about. But I wouldn't go just worried yet.
Yeah, not just worried yet. All right, kid. Well, I appreciate it. Not too bad. What do you think about mine? I got the number one right finally, right?
Yeah, you got the number one right finally. We got the same top five deal. I just went with only difference really was 9 and 10. We
Yeah.
totally different on 9 and 10. Don't get me wrong, I like your picks. I just feel like trending moving forward. I like Todd Bowles, Baker Mayfield in that offense, and I like Sean McVay, Matthew Stafford in that offense. That's all.
That's all. All right, kid. Before we get to Thursday Night Football, a quick word from our sponsor. We are brought to you each and every episode by Viva Tequila Seltzer, the most refreshing hard seltzer on the market, hands down. It is no wonder why Viva was voted number one hard seltzer in the world by San Francisco World Spirit Competition. With only 88 calories, 0 carbs, 0 sugar, and a light 4.5 ABV, Viva is the perfect drink for your post-game celebration as it was created with that active lifestyle in mind. We favor tequila seltzer because flavor is the spice of life, and we like our drinks with just a kick, just like how we like our lives. Whether it's Uncle Bear playing around a golf with the boys or a new flavor, coconut, watching Thursday Night Football, it doesn't matter. Our favorites pair perfectly with that Artisanal Blanco tequila for that subtle and refreshing drink. Our belief here at the Dream Wager and at Viva is to live long, live well, and live it up. All right, kid, let's get to it. Thursday Night Football in lovely California. Los Angeles Chargers hosting the Denver Broncos. Chargers trying to bounce back here and get back into the win column. I think, I don't want to say must win, but I think this is a bigger game for them. They are laying 2.5 here at home, minus 152 on the money line. Broncos plus 128, plus 2.5. Total 42.5. I will start with the side, kid. What are we feeling here? I don't think it's a must win, but I think the Chargers need this game more than the Broncos.
Yeah, definitely not a must win just because they do have I think a 2-game lead over the Bengals, Colts, and the Dolphins. Not a must win, but it'll be nice. It'll be nice. Realistically, though, Denver are live dogs. Give me the +3 on the road.
Wow.
I think even a little sprinkle on the money line.
Wow.
In my opinion, and I think you would even agree with me, past 3 weeks, who's been the better team from your eyes? Who's been able to run the ball? Who's been able to be a little more consistent offensively? Who's been a top 10 defense all year long? It's been the Denver Broncos, Dill. Bo Nix and Sean Payton, that's working. Right now, Harbaugh and Justin Herbert, they've been struggling a little bit ever since J.K. Dobbins went down with his injury, Dill. This hasn't been the same offense. They haven't been able to establish the run. Still, I don't like what I'm seeing from the Chargers team. I think they still could back their way into a playoff spot. They're probably gonna have to go to what? Houston or Pittsburgh or something like that. Or Baltimore. Without J.K. Dobbins, this just haven't been the same team. And we've been seeing the Denver Broncos. Yes, they started a little slow against the Colts last week, Dill, but the second half they took off. And we've been seeing this team all season long exceed expectations. I'm surprised they're 3-point dogs, 2.5 point. Shop around. Give me the +3. Give me the +2.5. Give me a little sprinkle on the money line. Give me the Denver Broncos.
See, I'm on the opposite side. I agree with you that they have been playing better. They've been playing excellent in the second half of the season. They've won 6 of their last 8. However, let's look at some of their wins. They beat Anthony Richardson, Jameis Winston, who got benched, Gardner Minshew, Kirk Cousins, who got benched, Bryce Young, and Spencer Rattler. They're not beating good players or teams. Let's just say that. They're not. That's a fact. They're not. And Herbert, they already beat this team. I know it was week 6 early on, 23-16, and they were up 23-0. They almost blew the game, though, in the fourth quarter. They almost blew that game. But, and you mentioned last week, Chargers, they got They laid an egg. There's just no denying it. They laid a fucking egg against
At
Tampa
home.
Bay at home. But I think it was a bad situational spot for Los Angeles. Coming off a crushing loss to Kansas City, and they got caught looking ahead to in a short turnaround spot. So I don't know. As for Denver, yeah, they beat the Colts, but like I said, the Colts suck. Jonathan Taylor, they gave a careless giveaway at the touchdown. He fumbled on the one. Broncos turned around, a bonehead call from a pick six. You know, I'm actually gonna lean here. It's not official, but I actually would take the Chargers here -2.5. It worries me that the number's moving the opposite way, though. I would like if it was moving in my favor. Instead of going from 3 to 3.5, it's actually going the Broncos' way, which does worry me, which means the sharps are on the Broncos.
I put it in. That's
So I actually do lean the Chargers here in this spot. They need this game more. I think we say it all the time, for even last year. Hungry dogs run faster. I think they need this game here. I'm going to take the Chargers here -2.5. Let's go for the total here. I think we saw the last game, like I said, in week 6. It was 23-16. I think we see another low scoring game here, 42.5. What are we seeing here? I like the under.
Yeah, I also like the under as well, just because, like I said earlier, this Chargers offense hasn't been the same without J.K. Dobbins. Last week they laid an egg. They scored 17 points in a win against Atlanta. Haven't been doing much offensively. Still, Justin Herbert hasn't went over 225 passing yards in 3 straight games. Lambert Conklin just came back. And defensively, is Bosa going to be healthy 100%? Because he hasn't really been going after the quarterback like he was early on this season. Denver Broncos offensively has been getting better and better week in, week out. Defensively, we already know what they've been doing. They were good last season. I just don't see the Chargers just out of nowhere going to put up 24, 27 points on this defense.
Yeah.
I don't see it because I know Denver's going to show up and at least put up 20, 21, maybe 24.
This game feels like it should be, because they're both going to be in the playoffs, in my opinion. This should be like,
Yeah.
when you get a playoff game outside of like Detroit and Buffalo, we kind of see two defenses locking in, especially 2 top 10 defenses. Say what you want about the Chargers. They are ranked 8th in the league. Broncos, they're a top 10, top 5 borderline defense as well. But credit, they played some weaker teams, but it doesn't matter. A lot of people say, well, LA's giving up some big scores at home, but this Denver attack really doesn't compare to the ones that they let up at home against Baltimore. Great offense. Cincinnati, say what you want, they're a top 5, top 10 offense. So they have some big scores in the past 3 weeks, but that's been pick sixes. That's been to the defense. And I just don't think the Chargers are going to give any extra possessions. They're second in the league in giveaways. They're going to run the ball. They're not going to turn the ball over. They're a very slow-paced offense as well. They chew up more than 37 minutes of possession. That's a lot, kid. When you got 37 minutes of possession, the other team's not going to be out there scoring 30, 40 points. It's just not going to happen. So I don't think we're going to see pick sixes as well, extra scores. So I think 2 top 10 defenses in a playoff environment. Think we're going to see a low scoring game. So yeah, my first official play is going to be the under 42.5. Let's go to the player prop market. We mentioned Bo Nix, Justin Herbert. You mentioned him. We got guys like Cortland Sutton as well. What are we feeling here for player prop wise?
I'm going to go right there with Justin Herbert, Give me Justin Herbert over 230.5 passing yards. He hasn't went over this mark in 3 straight games. I think he goes over this mark, just because, Denver, like I said, they borderline top 5 defense, top 10 defense, but they let up a little bit on the pass again. They're great against the rush. They let up a little bit on the pass. I don't think Anthony Richardson got there, but we saw the Browns torch that defense. Gardner Minshew went over this number, over 230. Kirk Cousins couldn't get there, but Kirk Cousins has been bad all year. Patty Mahomes went over this number. Lamar Jackson went over this number in early November as well. So I think right now the way this offense is constructed, and I think they'll be playing from behind. I think you have to pass the ball. Just Edwards, he's okay, but he's not gonna go out there and dominate time possession, give you 80 plus yards rushing. He's just not. I think Justin, if the Chargers have or just want to win this game, is gonna have to be on Justin Herbert's arm. He's gonna have to throw the ball a ton. Give me Justin Herbert over 230.5. He hasn't been. I haven't got under this number in a couple of weeks. I think he's due for at least a good game.
I was actually on the other side. I actually don't like his passing yards. I was going to take his under. I like his completions. I think his completions is around 20 and a half, 21 and a half. You really haven't seen it recently, like you said. So that's why I was kind of going to go on the other side. So I'm going to stay away. I don't want to fade you here. But my first play is going to be Cortland Sutton. I think he's going to have a big game, over 63 and a half receiving yards. I like his anytime touchdown as well. He scored 3 touchdowns the last 3 weeks. And outside of the little game against Indianapolis, 102, 97, 78, 70, 122, 100. He's been balling recently, Cortland Sutton. So I think he's going to have another big game here. He scored a touchdown in week 6 against this Charger team. I think anytime touchdown is live, I like over 63 and a half receiving yards. And also, I've been saying this all year. I'm a believer. I've been saying it since the preseason when he's been putting up this number. Watch his rushing yards. Rushing yards is only at 19 and a half. I think he could get that in like 4 or 5 rushes as well. They're going to get pressure on him with this defense. And Bo Nix could escape. He had 23 yards last week. He had 36 against a good Baltimore team that applies pressure. He had 61 yards in week 6 against this Charger team who gets after the quarterback. He had 47 against Tampa Bay. You notice a trend? Every good defense that gets home, he escapes and gets out of this pocket. So I think we could see 7, 8 carries for about 40 to 50 yards. 19 and a half, kid, for Bo Nix is very low. Give me over 19 and a half rushing yards for Bo Nix.
I like that one a lot just because, I think the defensive line for the Chargers going to go after Bo Nix, and he's going to be able to run out of there. We saw it time and time again this season, and I think 19 and a half, it is a short number. I think Bo Nix at least gets out of the pocket. Yeah, he might need it a couple times.
Yeah.
It might have you sweating at the end of the game.
I don't want to sweat, kid.
But if you're right, Dale, and the Chargers are going to win the game, I think he goes over the number. Lovely.
Kid, let's start week 16 hot, kid. Let's start on a winning note. You've been hot the past month, I want to say. So you've been carrying us. Let's start it off strong here. Let's transition to the association. Like I said, no Wednesday night games. The NBA is taking the day off, but we do have we do have 13 games on the slate for Thursday. We have lines out for every game as well. So Elvis, what are we liking? What are we thinking here for Thursday night?
Yeah, Dale, let's get into it. 7:00 start. OKC Thunder taking on the Orlando Magic. Magic catching 6 at home, 6.5 shop around, over under sitting at 210.5. Give me the Magic plus 6 at home. The Thunder just coming off let's just say a bad cup loss, coming off high intensity games. I'll just say they're gonna take a trip to Orlando and just, maybe get punched in their mouth in the first quarter or first half, and then fight back and win a close game. In my opinion, I think Orlando covers the 6. Give me the plus 6 at home. Next game, Brooklyn Nets taking on the Toronto Raptors, over under sitting at 218.5. Give me the Brooklyn Nets plus 4, plus 5, whatever you get, people.
Wait, kid. The performance the other night was not good. Are you guys tanking for Cooper Flag? It wasn't good.
We traded away Dennis the Menace, so our offense is a little lackluster, a little in shock without one of the best playmakers in all of basketball leaving that rotation. So we're a little struggling a little bit. Couple games, we'll be back on our stride. We might find it in Toronto. Give me the plus 4. Give me the plus 5 with the Brooklyn Nets. Next game, Atlanta Hawks taking on the San Antonio Spurs. Over under sitting 233.5 around there. Shop around. Game is basically at a pick 'em. Give me the live dogs for now. Give me the Atlanta Hawks plus 103, plus 100 on the money line. I wouldn't be surprised if Atlanta are favorites come tomorrow. To me, they're clearly the better team. They've been playing much better as of late. Give me the Hawks on the money line, whatever you could get. Next game. Oh, this is a good game. Golden State Warriors taking on the Memphis Grizzlies. Golden State catching 4 on the road. Over under sitting at 236.5. Dill, give me Memphis on the road. I will lay the 3.5, lay the 4, whatever you could get. I also took the money line minus 154. So if you could get the money line under minus 150, Memphis been on a roll. Golden State been trending bad for the past 3 weeks or so. I still like them, Dill, but in my opinion, as of right now, Memphis Grizzlies are just a much better team right now.
Yeah, they are.
Next game, 9 o'clock start. Indiana Pacers taking on the Phoenix Suns. I'm laying it with the Phoenix Suns here. Give me the -6 at home. You got KD, you got Bill, you got Devin Booker. Booker showing off his 96 Chevy Impala, by the way. That's just tough. They'll give me the -6.5 at home with the Suns. The Pacers just a little disappointing. I understand they won their last 2 games, yada yada, but at the end they're facing a good team and they haven't been showing up against good teams all season long. Next game, your New York Knicks versus the Minnesota Timberwolves.
Revenge spot.
Might be a must-watch game here, though. Might be a must-watch game on TNT, 8:30. Knicks catching 2.5. Over and they're sitting at 2:15. Shop around. I'm gonna go Minnesota for the win, Dill. Give me Minnesota minus 134 on the money line. I also like the -2.5. I think they take care of business at home. I like Julius Randle over it, Dill. I don't know if Karl Anthony Towns will get there. I wouldn't be surprised if he has a big game. But Julius Randle got more of a dog in him. Give me Julius Randle as well.
Real quick, I like Julius Randle over 19.5 points. Watch out for Dante DiVincenzo as well. Revenge spot for him. He was talking.
I remember the preseason.
Yeah,
what's his point total? Nice call.
He was talking. Julius Randle for 30 plus at plus 800. It's worth a sprinkle.
I don't know about 30, but what's Dante over?
Let me see. I just saw Julius Randle at 19.5, and I said, oh yeah, he's hitting that. Let's see, Dante, his points. Not up yet.
For 3 plus 3s. I'm telling you right now, he's hitting at least 3 threes. Give me Minnesota at home. Last game of the night, Los Angeles Lakers taking on the Sacramento Kings. Sacramento laying 4.5. Shop around 5. Over under sitting around 229.5. This one is a little leap here. Give me the Lakers +5. Shop around +5.5, +4.5, whatever you can get. I took the +5. I will say the Lakers are live dogs still. Not sure about that. Not sure. I think they might win, but I think they lose in a close one. Give me the +5. And then I'm going to end it off on a 2-way teaser. I'm going to just tease down Houston, taking on the Pelicans from 10.5 to -4.5. And then the Dallas Mavericks taking on the Clippers. Dallas laying 6.5 at home. I'm going to tease them down. I think they win the game. So Houston to -4.5 and Dallas to just to win the game -0.5 point in the 2-way teaser, though.
Kid, good luck in the association. We're back strong with 13 games on the slate. A few announcements before we get up out of here. We are back tomorrow for the rest of Week 16 NFL plays. We got college football playoffs. We already had the start of bowl season already. We'll give out some bowl picks as well. Friday's NBA slate. Then we'll be back Sunday. Will be our last show till Thursday for Christmas break. We'll recap Week 16. We'll give out some Christmas plays for the NFL, and also we got an NBA slate as well for Christmas, as well as any other bowl games that we like for this upcoming week. So Thursday, Sunday, and then we got a little break until next Thursday. But just a little announcement before we get up out of here. But good show, E. Any last words before we get up out of here?
Let's just have a good week, man. We'll see y'all tomorrow for another pod. Hopefully we start Thursday night good. I'm coming off 11-4-1 week 15, so I just want to keep it going.
Let's fucking keep it going, kid. Good luck. God bless, and we'll see you guys tomorrow.